It's time now for the Fanchise with CP the Fanchise. So CP, the Knicks coming off a blowout loss to the Celtics in Game 5. What are you hearing from the fans after the rough second half in Boston Wednesday night?
Oh, it was a brutal Game 5 loss, Michelle, in which the fans, when you want to start with the fact that the Knicks were outscored by 30 points from 3 by the Boston Celtics. The Knicks had a third quarter of doom in which they were outscored 32-17. Jalen Brunson picking up 5 fouls in that quarter alone, and the head coach Tom Thibodeau leaving his starters in and waiting a little bit too long to get some reinforcements in. Mitchell Robinson, who had a dominant game, did not get in until the fourth quarter. Miles McBride as well. And so the Knicks fans were confounded with this loss, but the Knicks went up against a Boston Celtics team that was desperate to get a win, and they did just that in Game 5.
This series has been an emotional roller coaster. Have you ever seen a series where each game has produced such extreme emotions?
Well, I would have to go back to the Knicks versus Heat series in those late 90s, 4 straight playoff series where the emotions were running on high. But as it relates to this Knicks team, Michelle, we've seen this all season with these guys, the highs and the lows, where you really just don't know what type of team they are or what their identity is. And so this Knicks team is learning on the fly, playoff experience, and in terms of having that killer instinct, they're going to need it to knock out the champs.
Well, Game 6 is back at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks have not clinched a series at the Garden since the Eastern Conference Finals in 1999. So how important is the atmosphere going to be Friday night?
It's going to be critical, and I think the Garden faithful, they're going to bring it. If you notice all of the celebrations, win or lose, out there on 7th Avenue, the Knicks fans are anxious to see the Knicks close out this series, and they're going to need to make sure that they do it at home at Madison Square Garden. You don't want to give this Celtics team that much more momentum to go back to Boston in a Game 7 where it's really a flip of a coin who can win that game. So the Knicks need to take care of business on Friday night.
They absolutely do. So we know what the Knicks need from Jalen Brunson on Friday, but who else needs to step up for the Knicks to really close the series out?
Michelle, it's no question it's Karl-Anthony Towns, who it has been a playoff enigma for the Knicks and the Knicks fans in terms of his ability to be his all-star self. In Game 5, in the Game 5 loss, Karl-Anthony Towns only mustering up 11 shots and looking quite pedestrian out there on the field, only averaging 15% from 3 in this series, Michelle. That's just not enough. The Knicks are going to go as far as their big 2 all-stars, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, take them, and it's up to Jalen, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Coach Tom Thibodeau to formulate a game plan to get the big bodega going early so that he can deliver a win for the Knicks.
All right, CP, quickly here, I want to know, what is your gut feeling? Do the Knicks win this game, and why?
I think the Knicks are learning, Michelle, to develop that killer instinct. They got beat down in Boston in Game 5, and they do not want to go back there for Game 7. The Indiana Pacers are waiting, and they will have 1 week's worth of rest heading into the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Knicks handle business, led by their big 2 and stellar defense from Wingstop and Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby.
All right, JJ, you are back. Would you go as far as to say that the Knicks need Jalen Brunson to be Superman in Game 6?
I wouldn't go that far, Michelle. To me, this is about the other guys on this team. You just saw those stats for Jalen Brunson in Game 6. He's masterful. He's brilliant. He's going to show up. This, to me, is about, hey, what is Karl-Anthony Towns going to give you? He had a dreadful Game 5. Mikal Bridges, who's been so good in this series, he was off his mark. And OG Anunoby, it seems like the Knicks go as Anunoby goes. So, to me, it's more about the well-rounded nature that you saw in Game 4 when the Knicks, to me, had their best, quarter and a half of the season against the Boston Celtics. Those other guys stepping up and joining Jalen Brunson, that's going to allow them to punch their trip to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, with Jason Tatum out and all the pressure on the Knicks to close it out in Game 6, do you think they get it done, yes or no?
I'm feeling the good vibes right now, Michelle. Yes, I do believe the Knicks are going to win this series. I think they're going to feed off the Garden crowd. Now, I'm not underestimating the Boston Celtics, even without Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown was great in Game 5. The Knicks are going to have to do a much better job on Derek White from 3, and they're going to have to counter what Boston provided when they brought Mr. Kornet into the game, which was problematic from a Knicks standpoint. But I think the Knicks role players are going to be much better, and I'm not betting against Jalen Brunson in this environment, in this spot. Come on, Michelle. I'm not picking the Celtics now that Tatum's out. The Knicks, they better win this game. That's what I'll say, because I wouldn't like Game 7 in Boston on Monday night.
We don't want to upset JJ. Two big games on Friday night with the Yankees-Mets and then the Knicks Game 6 against the Celtics. Where would you rather be on Friday? Yankee Stadium, Madison Square Garden, or at home with your sweet newborn baby?
Well, I mean, you're obviously giving me the choice with Ellie. It's a no-brainer. And then I get to go and watch both games, or I get to watch, hopefully, the Knicks take care of business against the Celtics. Going to be a very tough game to win. And then I got to watch Mr. Soto make his Met Subway Series debut. The beauty of multi-screens, Michelle. If you gave me a choice to be in the building and I had to go to one of these games, it's an elimination game at the Garden. I mean, that's tough to pass up, but I want to watch both, and guess what? I'll get to do so.